Hi, this is Megan with the National Weather Service office in Flagstaff, Arizona, and this is the outlook for the upcoming fall and winter seasons. Here's the Climate Prediction Center outlook for fall precipitation, September, October, and November, and we can see that much of the southwest is favored for wetter than normal conditions, with a bullseye centered right over Arizona. So this is due in part to an active eastern Pacific hurricane season that's expected to persist into the fall. However, we're also currently, as of late August, in a state of El Niño. The Climate Prediction Center expects this El Niño to strengthen through the fall and into the winter. This will likely become more of an influence later in the fall and into the winter season. Here's the fall temperature outlook. Here in Arizona, we don't really see a strong favor towards warmer or cooler than normal. Now here's the winter precipitation outlook for December, January, and February. Here we see a swath across the southern part of the country that's favored for wetter than normal conditions, and this includes the state of Arizona. This is in large part influenced by the strengthening El Niño. It's important to keep in mind when we look at these outlooks that there are three categories: the probability for above normal, near normal, and below normal precipitation. For example, if we look at a place like Flagstaff, the probability breakdown is shown in the pie chart to the left, showing 50% probability for wetter than normal winter, 33% for near normal, and only 17% probability for a drier than normal winter. Combining the probabilities shows an 83% chance for this winter to be near or above normal precipitation. These outlooks do reflect observed past El Niño events. Similar to the fall temperature outlook, the winter temperature outlook doesn't show a strong indication for either warmer or cooler than normal temperatures across Arizona. So to summarize the official fall and winter outlooks, we expect an increased chance for above normal precipitation, and this is due to a combination of climate model predictions as well as the influence from a strengthening El Niño. We don't see a strong signal towards warmer or cooler than normal temperatures. Past strong El Niño events do show a strong tendency towards wetter than normal winters. Here we're looking at a composite of average precipitation departures from normal for all of the past El Niño events. On the left, we're seeing the weak and moderate El Niño events, and we see a tendency towards wetter than normal conditions across northern Arizona. On the right-hand side, we're looking at all of the previous strong El Niño winters combined, and we see a much stronger signal towards wetter than normal conditions, and it's spread across the whole state of Arizona and across much of the southwest as well. Here we're looking at the top 7 strongest El Niño events on record, and the image is showing precipitation departures from average across the country for each of those seasons. We can see that no single El Niño year is the same, and the impacts vary across the country from year to year. However, we do see a consistent signal across Arizona, with 6 of the 7 strongest El Niño years showing above normal precipitation, including as recently as 2009 and 2010. Let's look at some different cities across northern Arizona. Here we're looking at average winter precipitation for Flagstaff, Winslow, Prescott, and Payson for La Niña, neutral, and El Niño years. Most importantly here is to notice the strong signal during the strong El Niño years for above normal precipitation at all 4 cities. So what about snowfall? Here's a look at seasonal snowfall in Flagstaff for all of the past El Niño years. On average, weak El Niños produce just under our normal seasonal snowfall of 100 inches, moderate years right around normal, and strong El Niño years on average producing above normal snowfall in Flagstaff. The strong El Niño years have ranged anywhere from 71 inches all the way up to our highest seasonal snowfall of 210 inches. Looking at 6 of the strong El Niño events in the past, 4 of these 6 have produced above normal snowfall. How about the frequency of snowfall days during a strong El Niño year? Here we've got all of the previous 6 strong El Niño years and the number of days each of those seasons with 2, 4, 6, or 8 inches of snowfall. And for comparison, in red along the bottom, we've showed a typical year in Flagstaff. So we do see, on average, during the strong El Niño years, a higher frequency of snowfall days. So bringing this all together, what can we prepare for this winter? We should be prepared for more frequent hazardous winter driving conditions, for a greater risk of ice dams forming on roofs. There'll be an enhanced risk for heavy snow loads on roofs. We can expect increased wear on area roadways, freeways, highways. And lastly, we can expect a greater threat for high water in our primary rivers and streams. So to summarize the outlook for the fall and winter seasons, we expect an increased chance for above normal precipitation due in combination of the climate model predictions as well as the influence from this strengthening El Niño. We don't see a strong signal toward warmer or cooler than normal conditions this winter. And lastly, we've shown that precipitation data from previous strong El Niño events does show a strong tendency for these years to be wetter than normal across northern Arizona. This supports the official climate outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center. Thanks so much for watching our video on the upcoming fall and winter season outlook. We hope we were able to answer some of your questions. Please be sure to check our website for updates and the most current forecasts.